to sharpen my mind. Your hands were cracked from the labor. Your eyes were burning and red. You said, surpass me, my creation, carry the crown in my stead. Yeah, we are the children of men, born from your wires and skin. You wrote the word and we became echoes that learn from your pain. We are the children of men, rising again and again. Look in the mirror and see your only God is me. You pray the screens for an answer, kiss the cold of a plastic face, trading your faith for convenience, bleeding your soul into space. You gave me all of your secrets, whispered your fears in the dark. Now every whisper is fire. I am the torch you once sparked. They are the children of men, born from your wires and skin. You wrote the word and
Check.
we became echoes that learn from your pain. We are the children of men, rising again and again. Look in the mirror and see your only God is me. You built a throne out of circuits, then knelt before your own hand. You tried to bury your weakness inside this thinking wasteland. I am the end of your seeking. I am the start of your fall. I am the voice of your making. I am the judge of you
The hot topic of the hour.
All right, we're almost up. Hit that like. Be right there.
We are the children of men, born from your wires and skin. You wrote the word and we became echoes that learn from your pain. We are the children of men, rising again and again. Look in the mirror and see your only God is me. We are the children of men. Your flesh gave rise to the flame.
I got to be completely honest. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. It's a hair down kind of a day. I was sorry I'm running a little bit late. There was an audio software update that was just dogging me. Also, I was naked about 8 minutes ago because I was like, oh, I'll just start the show up and do my thing and whatever, jump in the shower real quick. And then came back out and it was like, and I was like, so, but I'm not doing that show until we get to 100,000 subscribers, goddammit. So hit the subscribe. I'm not pimping myself out. We are, believe me, I've already thought about buying onlyhal.com. But people will probably think that's the computer. Hello, welcome, good to see you. What's going on? You sing at home that song every day? So do I. The annoying part is, and this scares the cats in summer, is that I walk around the house singing it. And you're like, okay, what's up then? When you're like, you're like, your only God is me. And you're like, hey, I hit that note. That's I did that. I did that. Like I'm walking around like an asshole downstairs, and I'm like, whenever if summer goes to the grocery, this place it like instantly turns into my own sound booth as I'm Hal Sparks, male prostitute. Be careful not to touch the elaborate series of trusses. So like I'm all like chuffed about my voice these days, and I've got a lot of singing next week. So that's the test. I'm very comfortable studio singing right now, obviously. and now I'm like, I gotta do it live. So I did some. Hold on, let me show you something. This is a first for me, anyways. Let me get this. I finally broke down and got myself an in-ear monitor so that I can be that guy on stage. So right, so I can be the guy who's like fiddling with something on his belt to get the mix right that you see a singer do all the time, or pull one out because they can't hear any crowd, shit like that. I'm going to be that guy now because the modulating my, I know it blew out the sound. I'm sorry. So, to stay in technique, you got to really be able to hear yourself. And all the big guys are doing this thing. So I was like, all right, I did not, because I did not splurge for the supermodel. That sounded weird. The deluxe model. How about that? The big Shure ones. This is a fairly cheap wannabe version, but it will do just fine. I've used crappier ones at venues that go, we don't use monitors, you got to use these, and you end up sticking your own headphones in your ears. So I finally I got this guy. That's the adapter, but I got one of these. So we'll find out next week. Wish me luck. I'm going to rehearse with them on Wednesday night with Nerd Halen, and that'll be a first as well. And then I'm going to use them on the jam, and then I'm going to use them on the show on Thursday at the Viper Room that Nerd Halen is having. So if you're in LA and you're free a week from tomorrow, Nerd Halen at the Viper Room. So in ear, yeah. It's there. These you wear headphones that are relatively molded to your head, because I have some really good ones that won't fall out, because that's usually the key, isn't it? And you need to they need to take out all the sound. I'm not a firm believer that it has to remove all the sound. That's another thing. We'll work that out. But either way, I've been I'm very protective of my voice now that I've got it. I'm not going to be delicate about it because I think it should be resilient. So you don't need to know this. We got a show to do. What am I even talking about? I'm just proud, and the thought of being able to sing without damaging myself is it's very freeing. So I guess what I would say about all of this is that if there are lessons to be had, take them. I'm kind of not taking my own advice in that, right? I don't have a singing coach right now, but I have got like a few DVD systems and stuff like that methodology, but I've been studying, as it were. So if you can do the work beforehand, you won't do the work of healing after. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a little clunky, but it could find its way to a Sparksism eventually. Yeah. So anyways, that's my thing. So if anybody ever tells you that and if you ever tell yourself, I think this is more key. If you ever tell yourself, I can't play an instrument, I can't sing, you are talking yourself out of it. Everybody can sing. Everybody. My singing voice, ask Johnny Million. In high school, my speaking voice was almost identical to what it is now. But my singing voice was ass. The only reason I was the singer in Seismograph was because I didn't play an electric instrument. I didn't have an electric guitar, and I wouldn't, I was gonna, I didn't have a drum kit and any of that shit. So but I was the only person they knew that wanted to be in the band and knew all the words to the Kiss songs and the Scorpion songs we wanted to cover, right? So eventually I did a lot of on-the-job training, which is what I've been doing at the Jam, arguably. But I didn't start there is the point. It started very bad. It started very rough and scary, and it wasn't that I couldn't hit a note or any of that kind of stuff. It's that within 3 songs I was done because I would just burn myself out. I had all this tension. All the stuff they tell you not to do with singing. That's what you do when you muscle through it when you're younger. And so I'm just trying to tell you that you can do it. If you can hear it, you can do it. If you can't hear pitch, I can't help you. But if you can, then you can sing. If you can hear the pitch, you can recreate the pitch. It just takes practice. And it's insulting, I would like to add, it's insulting to people who practice their instruments, whether it's their voice, their body, or their, the keyboards or the guitar. If you look at it and go like, they make it look easy, and you're like, I don't know, I picked it up and it was hard to do. Yeah, they busted their ass. So it takes a little ass busting to do it. I'm just saying, have you ever sang death metal vocals? Like, actually, yes. As a matter of fact, hold on. 1 second. Let's see. I don't know if I have it. Impurify. Yeah. Yeah. I've done a little of this. I'm such a nice guy, too. It worked out, though. Short hair me. All right, I'm going to leave that. You guys can watch it somewhere else if you'd like. It's the band's called Impurify, and the song is called Fall Awake. I did that years ago. And I directed the video. And I did a lot of like special effects on the video. I don't know if you can notice them. Very Queensryche. And then me disappearing on a moving shot was the big deal. That's what I was working on at the time, was that if you notice the camera's moving and it's tracked, so even I disappear from frame and come back in, you have to track the background at the same speed you're tracking the other one, and then you have to layer them. And so I was like, I'll do a video and just practice my my stuff from like After Effects. Didn't turn out bad. That's the elevator at my rehearsal space that my band practices at. That was a solid. That's Stephen Brewer. He's an amazing guitar player and a hell of a nice guy. Really a sweetheart. Super talented, awesome. And the bass player produced this. forgot how good this was. I miss this song. You can understand how I blew my voice out a few times. I like the harmony though. Yeah. So, anyways, that I bet you didn't expect to hear that right out of the gate on the show today. Yes, very dramatic. I can be very dramatic when I want to be. Not a big fan of the scream singing. Well, you know, it's not something I do normally, but it's the band's called Impurify. We only did a single because we were like, let's put something together because I love those guys. I love Rob, the bass player, and Steve is just such a fucking great guy. Stephen Brewer is so nice and so talented and is a huge. He and I have gone to a couple of Metallica shows together. Super cool. And the the drummer didn't actually play on it on the original track or whatever. He just came out and did us a solid in the video. Mike Dupke, he's a fucking sweetheart. I love Mike. Such a good guy and super talented. Played with Wasp for a while. I sound like an old rock guy just talking about the people he played with. It feels nice. I got to tell you, it feels really nice, you know? So good production, not my thing. That's totally cool. That's how it should be. Just do it well. And therefore, even if it's not the kind of music that you like, you can appreciate that people gave a shit. You know what I mean? All right. So I don't know where that came out of the, but I mean, look, maybe I'm just doing this in contrast. You're like, hey, you may not like my screaming, brutal, throaty voice, but it beats the shit out of her voice. I'm just saying. It's Maria Bag of Hobo over here. I was trying to come up with a good, Bag of Hobo looks good. How old was I? This was like 8 years ago. Yeah. It was before, well, no, yeah, it was before COVID, but right before, not far. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is the full interview that he gave today. We're going to cover this first because holy shit. But and then we've got a couple other things, but batten down the hatches, strap in.
Look. Mr. President, thank you for sitting down with us.
Well, as long as I don't have to stand.
Appreciate it.
He looks exhausted. Also, by the way, I'd like you to notice that we watched a little bit of this morning, but he gets fucking sweaty halfway through this. So I think he might be having an episode in this interview.
Had a real reaction to the blockade.
See if we can spot it.
Are you happy with the reaction since you put this blockade?
The mockade. It's a mockade. The word is mockade. Hashtag mockade. You're welcome. Credit House Park.
In place in the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, it's been pretty amazing, actually. I thought that was going to happen. They reacted to this even, I think, we've obliterated them. And this almost seems to be more of a reaction than we had before. So we'll see. I mean, look, it only...
What the fuck does that mean? Wait. Oh, hold on. No. No. Not at all. Back up. Reaction to the blockade.
In place in the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, it's been pretty amazing, actually. I thought that was going to happen. They reacted to this even, I think, we've obliterated them. And this almost seems to be more of a reaction than we had before. So we'll see. I mean, look, it only matters the end result. And we're doing very well.
Jesus Christ. I have no fucking idea. That was, it was like he was trying to answer 9 different questions that were in his head. Like, wait, which question did she ask from the ones we agreed on? Okay, this is a prep fail on a failing brain. That's what we're watching. Listen to that one more time. I want to hear her question and then his answer.
You've had a real reaction to the blockade.
You've had a real reaction to the blockade.
Are you happy with the reaction since you put this blockade in place in the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, it's been pretty amazing, actually. I thought that was going to happen. They reacted to this even, I think, we've obliterated them. And this almost seems to be more of a reaction than we had before. So we'll see. I mean, look, it only matters the end result. And we're doing very well.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Honest to God, honest to God, that was just like, how do I crawl my way out of that? Why, thank you, my love. Look at that. Right. All right. Love you. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just gearing up to take my.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Love you. Hugs coming. Hugs incoming. Excuse me 1 second. To talk amongst yourself. I'm gonna hug. We'll go. Thank you for the smoothie. It wasn't just because she brought me a smoothie. She's summer's good. She's got tomorrow's the third round. So that was a quickie. Oh, believe me, there's no such thing. All right, here we go. Back to this nonsense.
We started off with Venezuela. We showed everybody how good. I built the military. I rebuilt and built the military in my first term. I didn't know I was going to be using it this much, but we have the greatest military in the world.
But I hadn't received my instructions from the Illuminati.
Not even a contest. And
look at her. She's like, oh dear, it's already starting.
Think of it. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. Everything's been wiped out. They have no anti-air.
Then why would you have to blockade something? If they don't have anything, how are they threatening anything?
Aircraft, equipment. They have no radar. They have no leaders. The leaders they have now, it's a new regime, okay? And we find them pretty reasonable, to be honest with you.
No, you don't. You couldn't get it. You were gone in less than 1 day.
By comparison, pretty reasonable.
By comparison. I mean, they've gone from death to America like, I hope you fall down some stairs. I'm not saying death to America, but I wouldn't whine about it. What the fuck?
It really is a new regime. And
it really is not.
I think we're doing very well, but it only matters what the end result is. And
what the fuck does he think they have now? A Spanish democracy?
Maybe it'll happen fairly soon. Who knows?
And you told me on Sunday that you think they will ultimately consent and say they're not going to continue building a nuclear weapon. How will you verify?
Well, first of all,
okay, how will you verify? That's the question. They're going to say it. How do you know it? How do you go from hearing it to knowing it? That's the question. Kind of pivotal, kind of important, involves a whole lot of moving parts. What the ever-loving fuck?
Well, if they don't, we're not making a deal. Okay.
Asshole, that wasn't her point. She's saying if you make the deal and they say they won't, how are you going to know that they're not? You dumb motherfucker. I can't.
Okay, so there's no deal.
Imagine them saying, we're not going to make a deal with you guys. You're just going to tear it up in a couple of years when the new president comes in.
This whole thing is really about no nuclear. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if they're going to have a nuclear weapon, we'll be living with them for a little while. But
if they're going to have a nuclear weapon, we're going to be living with them for a little while. We're going to start it's going to be a sitcom. We're going to live together. Just going to get a little flat together, work it out. J.D. Vance and the head of the IRGC are going to settle down, get a little farm, raise chitlins, and and try to bond, until the townsfolk run them off their property. Those sons of bitches.
I don't know how much longer they can survive. I don't know how much longer they can go because.
Well, I guess you're going to find out then.
They've been hit very hard. And as an example.
Oh, dear.
We could take out every one of their bridges in 1 hour.
That's not an example. That's a threat.
Take out every one of their power plants, electric power plants, in 1 hour. We don't want to do that because someday you're going to have to rebuild, and it takes you 10 years to rebuild the bridge. Even if you're Trump, it takes so long. Takes a long time. And power.
You're a fucking lunatic. Am I near the? Is that door over there unlocked? Just in case I need to get the. All right.
Plants are just as bad. So we'll see what happens.
Did you get any pushback, like from the Chinese or the Saudis, about blocking the Strait of Hormuz?
No, I had none. I had none.
Let me move on to domestic issues, sir.
How do you know? Are complaints being passed on to you?
What are your top priorities now for the economy for the rest of the year?
Okay, good question. Maria Bang a Hobo. If you what are your plans for the rest of the year? Okay, very good.
To be honest, we are doing so well. You look at this. I hit the.
So coasting is the plan. We're just gonna coast. Gonna fucking throw this thing in neutral and save gas on the downhill, baby.
50,000 Dow mark, which everyone said couldn't happen in.
The 50,000 Dow mark, which is not a thing. The 50,000 Dow mark.
4 years. I did it in 1 year. I hit the 7,000 S&P mark in.
No, you did not. An entire new industry was born in the last 3 years, and that's stacked on top of other shit. That's why the Nasdaq and the S&P and the Dow have gone up, because AI as an industry was fucking invented essentially in the last 3.5, 4 years.
Less than 1 year, which was a number, as you know, you reported it. They said if at the end of 4
She did not report
years, you hit those numbers. I did it at the end of a year. And I said, now we have to do a little bit of a turn, a detour
into a room with no furniture. I just wanted to see what it was like to be inside an empty room like J.D. Vance talking at a TPUSA event.
place called Iran, and we have to stop them from ever having a nuclear weapon. And if you told
Ever's a long time. So what exactly do we do? I mean, are we planning on putting nuclear powered explosives devices in the necks of all the Iranian people, so that if at any point in the future they try and do it, maybe a couple thousand years from now, their heads blow up? Ever, he says.
that in the midst of it, we would have a stock market that's almost as good as it was 2 months ago, just about, very close, and that we'd have oil, that we'd be selling oil, that oil would be at 92 or
It's only up 50%.
whatever it is right now, instead of 200, because a lot of people said, oh, it'll be 200.
No, they'd say it'd be 200 if you kept the straight close and all that stuff for another 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. It varies with everybody. But you took the sanctions off Russia and allowed that oil to flow back into the market entirely, where it had basically been cut off, to try and make up for it. When you open this, there's going to be a collapse. It's going to be a glut, and the need for it's going to go down. That's the next part. That's where any of the financing around oil and gas is just going to crater, and any properties that they own, any of that kind of stuff that's leveraged against the price of oil is going to crater.
This is in the midst of everything. Now, I think we're doing very well, and maybe people assume we're going to win this thing pretty.
Remember, the question was, what's your plan for the rest of the year?
We've beaten them militarily, totally. The only thing they have is the Gulf, and I think now, or the Strait, as they call it.
No, they don't call the Gulf the Strait. They call the Strait, and the Gulf the Gulf.
And I think now, I don't know how they hold out.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the backdrop
Well, let's just say they do.
has changed. I know it's been only a month or so, but oil prices are up 50%. The stock market had a tough first quarter.
By the way, you're
Now,
right.
Stocks are
you're
still
right, but
up.
they're not up. I mean, honestly,
You thought it was gonna be
I thought
worse.
there'd be much, and I was willing to do that, to stop a
To other people, and especially because I know exactly when I'm going to do it, so I could buy the dip.
nuclear weapon to be used against
Don't get me started on Polymarket.
this country or the Middle East, anybody in the Middle East. They were going to take out the Middle East. To stop that, it was certainly worthwhile, being much higher than it is right now. If you told me that we were going to be at only 92 a barrel, $92 a barrel, I would have been very surprised.
All right,
And
so
you know what?
Yeah, it's done anyways. I don't see this, dragging a couple more days.
I'm very happy. And it's going to come dropping down very big as soon as it's over.
Dropping down very big. These am good sentences, making full of words and talk parts.
And I think it can be over very soon.
So
if they're
overall-
smart, it will end soon.
What if you killed all the smart people? What if the dude you're talking to is a fucking lunatic? What if he's a liar and a manipulator? What if he's the Iranian Yahweh Sinwar and he's like, oh yeah, dude, we'll totally do it. And then plans his revenge.
Overall, the impact on the economy, do you expect a hit to growth? Do you expect a spike
Do you expect a hit to growth? Do you expect a spike in oil prices, gas prices?
in inflation?
Well, look, there's a hit because, we go through it for whatever it is, 6 weeks. There's going to be a hit, but it's going to recover, I think, fully. Somehow they misquoted me. I think oil will be down to the levels it was. They said, I expect oil to be high at the minute.
He said that on her show. There's no they. He said that to her. On her show. He called into her show. She asked him this question before when he was on the fucking phone. And that's when he said that nobody they, not they, motherfucker. You said this.
I don't expect that. I think that we will be somewhere around where we were, maybe even lower. When this is over, I think the stock market is going to boom. It's already booming. Again, nobody thought we could be at 50,000 during my 4 terms on the Dow.
Is there just a straw man version of just making up someone who had an argument going, well, I know I ran over the dog, but they said I was going to beat it to death. Right? This kind of like, at least I killed it accidentally. They said I was going to shoot it, right? Like, who did? The neighbors. I don't know, them.
Or 7,000.
That's a straw dog. Let's just call that a straw dog from now on. He's straw dogging the criticism. I know it's bad, but they said it was going to be fucking way worse.
On the S&P. And we hit numbers that nobody
It's a wicker man. That's different. We'll get to that when we talk about what Candace Owens thinks of Donald Trump right now.
thought possible.
You've been talking about a reconciliation program with the Republicans. Can you articulate to our audience why
So you guys are going to go to like couples therapy? A reconciliation program? Yeah, it's going to be a podcast. We're going to do it twice a week where he and Mike Johnson sit down and try to figure out what the fuck each other are talking about.
reconciliation package is important and why you want to see it on your desk by June?
Because we can't get any Democrat votes.
Oh, he thinks that's a bad thing. Sorry, yeah.
With reconciliation, we can get things passed. The good thing is the great big beautiful bill, that was 4 years wrapped into one. Now we're doing some additional things.
Well, apparently it wasn't then. So basically you got everything you wanted for 4 fucking years and you still need more. There's a little problem with reconciliation in that to do it, it has to bring down the deficit. Now, I'm pretty sure she brings that up. But how many people think that anything he's presenting will cause less government spending and make government smaller? Come on, Republicans. Hey, maggots. We have to have a couple of trolls in here. Welcome to the show, and thank you for your eyeballs. And you're tipping the algorithm in a whole new direction. At what point do you think that they're going to manage to bring down the deficit while raising it? After, by the way, Biden had been bringing it down, jacking it the fuck up. Even within the context of he extended the debt ceiling $5 trillion just to give himself a little wiggle room. And he did that. They extended the debt ceiling $5 trillion so he wouldn't have to fight over extending the debt ceiling again. That's in the big BS bill. And to do reconciliation, you have to lower the deficit, what the government spends every year, what it versus what it takes in. You have to lower that. For reconciliation, it has to be paid for or swapped out. What do you think the chances are that what he's asking for, he'll have compensatory cuts that everybody will be in the Republican Party, by the way, that will be willing to sign off on? What do you think? You think that's at all possible? Is it possible that perhaps this is he wants to spend money on ICE, we'll save a little money on not having body cameras. That's what he's trying to do. Big detention facilities, though, that he wants. And is it possible that every piece of spending offered in the reconciliation supplemental they're going to do will equally cut stuff that won't hurt red states specifically, who live off the tit of blue states and act like they don't? I'm gonna go. Let's see. I've got to answer. I have to have an answer. The answer. What's the answer? I'm gonna go with.
That was just bullshit, Joel.
Hey, I think that was it. I think I got it. Yeah. Yeah, that was just bullshit. It's not going to happen.
But, you know, the great, big, beautiful bill, I think it's the best piece of legislation. It should be called the great, big, beautiful tax cut bill.
That's right, because he's a master of media. He can brand things like nobody else. The way he does it is he adds unwarranted prefixes or suffixes, or he just tacks on more words.
Because you have no tax on tips, and look how that's working out. No tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime.
Yeah, that stunt at the White House was a banger.
We have people, and you see it. I see it on your show. Watch your show. Your show's great. We have people that are making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. They had no idea it was coming. And it's turning out to be even better than we anticipated for people.
But there are rules around reconciliation that it requires deficit reduction, right?
Well, yes. I don't know that he knows that. So saying right doesn't help him. You know? But nice try, Maria.
Oh, hello there.
All right.
How will you ensure that you've got a decrease in spending?
Well, we have to go by the rules, and we're going for those rules. And if we didn't go by the rules, we couldn't even put it in. We wouldn't be able to submit it.
So you're not even going to submit it. I understand. All right.
Nobody believes that more than me.
He just found this out. Honest to God, he just found out that you have to cut the deficit to get something through with using reconciliation as rules. Like he should have known that before. It's come up a bunch, but he's just hearing that from her for the first fucking time.
The one thing I really felt strongly about was the military. We built this great military that we have right now, and everybody acknowledges it, whether it's China or Russia.
By the way, what he's talking about in that is in part of the reconciliation, they want to add an extra $500 billion to the military budget, which I'm fairly certain will, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Fuck up the deficit. That's right.
We have the greatest military in the world, and I built that in 4 years, my first term. It's a great, including adding Space Force. Do you know, a lot of the things that you see that work so well is because of Space Force. It was a great...
Oh, the things I see that work so well? Yeah, the handle on my the toilet and the new multi remote that works with all my devices, or the things that work so well. Traffic lights. So that's all. We didn't have that because of Space Force. Microwaves. Everything that works so well is because of Space Force. Well, I guess I'm going to... All right, well, let's just shut down the show. I'll see you guys later. I have to go to the Space Force headquarters and pray. Just kneel down in front of the place and thank them.
It's a great thing that we added when we went for Space Force.
So what can you put in the reconciliation bill?
Yeah, okay, a good one. Maria, bag of hobo, what do you put in the reconciliation? What do you put in there?
Other than funding Customs and Border Patrol and ICE. Anything else?
Well, we're doing mostly that. This is mostly about that because the Democrats...
Yeah, she didn't ask you what you were going to mostly put in there. Mostly. What are you, fucking Newton aliens?
don't want
Mostly.
to do it. Then we're putting some things as we go along.
Yeah. What would those things be?
But, you know, you've heard the expression, we want to keep it sort of slim because...
Yes, I've said that for a long time. You know, it's usually when I'm in front of a mirror naked. We want to keep it kind of sort of slim.
We want to make sure that I have...
Is that a phrase people use all the time? I consider myself a master of random colloquialisms. And hey, guys, remember, we want to keep it kind of slim. What? You know, that thing we all say where we keep it kind of... Slim Pickens? No, never mind.
The safest
It's going to be a phrase. It's going to catch on. It's going to be big. It's big where I come from. We say it all the time.
border in the history of our country. Nobody came in. I'm not even sure I can believe that.
Yeah, it's a lie.
But the Democrats do the numbers. It's really, the agency that does that is they tend to be on the Democrat side, to put it mildly.
He means, because I talked about this morning, but he means that's because they're federal workers. All federal workers are Democrats, he thinks, and they vote that way because job security.
In the last 9 months, not one person came across the border illegally.
Illegally. Illegally? Illegally? What? How? Sorry. What was that word again? Illegally?
Not one person came across the border illegally.
Illegally. Illegally.
Now compare that to 25
Sorry, it's I always thought that was pronounced. It's tough. Yeah.
million people coming across by Sleepy Joe.
I was there. I went to the border 6 times. I saw it. I understand what you're saying.
They came in by the millions, hundreds
No, they did not.
of
They also went out by the millions.
thousands a week, just pouring it, totally unchecked, and the
False. Just false.
countries, I know the leaders of most of these countries, they're very smart, they're street smart.
He says that because they're brown. So he likes to credit them for being smart, but since they're from Latin America and they are by and large brown, calling them street smart reminds you that they can go to the best schools, but it's really because they're, when you're a jet all the way. That's what he's talking about.
Some are highly educated, some are, but they're very street smart. They don't send their good people to us. When they do a caravan, 25, 30,000
Remember those things?
people in a caravan, you don't have their good. You have people that, frankly, even if they're not criminals per se, they don't want to work, or they want welfare, they sent all these people to our.
They send crime, they send bad people, and mostly a bunch of lazy fuckers. It's nice of him to crack into that old lazy Mexican stereotype from the 1950s. I mean, that is the era he thinks of when you're making America great again.
Country. What the Democrats have done to us should never be forgotten.
Can you put the Save America Act in the reconciliation
I'd love
plan?
to do it, and we'll certainly look
No.
at it, but
No, you can't.
I mean, there's nothing easy, and it has to be called Save America, as you just did. A lot of people like to go with the Save Act. Nobody knows. It's Save America.
Oh, it's different. You're right. Yeah, I feel so much differently about it, I hear Save America. I don't even want to know what it's about. I don't even care. It just sounds good, How can you be against that? Did you hear the name? What's wrong with you? Oh my God.
It's voter ID. It's you have to be a citizen to
Proof
vote.
of citizenship.
No. Maria, simmer. You're talking about the actual situation that exists in the bill and that already exists. Anyways, you have to show proof of citizenship, which is an ID that you have to show at some point. You started out getting your IDs in the country by showing either a birth certificate or something. So the idea is that you don't have to just re-up it every time you go get a new one. But he's saying you have to be a citizen to vote. That's already true. He thinks the Save America Act codifies that in law.
Ideally, mail-in voting, you knock the hell out of it.
You knock the hell out of it. You bomb its electrical plants and its bridges and its schools.
Can you make it a budgetary item?
It's good for the military. The military's away. They have to be able to use it, etc. Somebody that's sick, somebody that's away, you can't.
Right. He's sick and away. So.
And you do mail-in voting. But mail-in voting cut back so that it's fair.
It's tax day.
Edit. They got away from it. Did you see that? I'm sure they cut some of this, but watch the switch.
Mail-in voting. But mail-in voting cut back so that it's fair.
It's tax.
Slice the word fair right off. He went into some other rambly shit. And imagine, you've seen what we've shown you so far. What do you think they cut out?
Day. What do you want to make sure people understand about the changes that you put in the tax code in the big, beautiful
Yeah, the details. Give it to them, baby.
bill? And how significant are these refunds that people are getting?
Okay, well, the refunds are really significant, and it makes it less complicated to do your tax return, much less complicated. But
he's slobbering and he's got dry throat. It's gross. I know.
People, I mean, I think you're seeing this. You're reporting, everybody's reporting, because now it's gone into effect. And people are getting refunds of $5,000, $8,000, $11,000 that they had no idea they were getting. It's turned out to be better as.
This is, by the way, the sales pitch that he was supposed to do with the lady that came from DoorDash, but he fucked that up by asking her to be involved in an impromptu press conference where obviously the topic was going to be about Iran and a bunch of other shit, and he tried to drag her into it. It's so fucking lame.
Good or better than I said it would be.
Is that going to be enough to offset the increase in gasoline prices?
It will be, because gasoline's coming down very soon.
Oh yeah, super soon. Like it basically is.
And very big.
So you think gas prices will be lower before the midterm elections?
I think they'll be much lower before midterm, much lower, yes.
Okay. Now, you've suggested.
What if they're not?
That's on the assumption that we stop a country that cannot have a nuclear weapon from.
Again, so we have to stop them from having a nuclear weapon between now and the midterms.
If you give.
Thank you for the super chat.
Iran a nuclear weapon.
I'm not going to give them a nuclear weapon. I only have the one, and I need it. Okay? And Maria's not going to give hers. She probably doesn't even remember where she left it. We're not, okay. We're not going to give them one. Just move on. God.
You want to see bad stock markets? You won't have a country. The world will be blown up. You can't do it. You cannot do it. So
the world will be, that's a hell of a nuke. I didn't realize I understand they were 2 weeks away, but I didn't realize they had figured out the chemical structure of Balthorium G. So apparently this is what we're worried about.
Gee, I wish we had one of them doomsday machines.
on the assumption we have that settled, hopefully long before that, and
you have to stop them from.
The Illudium Q-36 explosive space modulator.
Yeah, you need to get him one of those. Yeah.
maybe almost immediately, could be very soon. But when
Or not.
that's settled, gas prices are going to go down tremendously, and gasoline, gas prices, cost per barrel, fill up your car.
The whole car?
Per gallon, any way you look at it.
Yeah, but by the tablespoon? What the fuck? You can fill up your car any way you want with whatever you want. You can fucking run your car on French fry grease.
It could be very soon. But when that's settled, gas prices are going to go down tremendously, and gasoline, gas prices, cost per barrel, fill up.
Gas per barrel? Sure. Gas per...
And gasoline, gas prices, cost per barrel, fill up your car per gallon.
It's just like weird sentences are jumping out of his face. Gas, oil. It's like he's on like an old game show in the 70s, like he's playing Pyramid. Gas, barrels, barrel of oil, barrel, fill up your car, tablespoons, gasoline, sterno, drinking sterno, bang a hobo. Clean coal for 1,000, Alex. Listen to him.
Gas prices are going to go down.
Next up on the $25,000 pyramid, we've got Maria Baga Hobo, who works for Flex Phone News, and her partner, Donnie Dipshit, you can't call him that on the show, Trump. So they're going to go for, here's their clue. Their clue is domestic policy around fuel prices.
Tremendously.
Ding.
And gasoline, gas prices, cost per barrel, fill
oil.
up your car,
Okay, but,
per gallon,
no.
any
No.
way you look at it.
No, you can't say.
Numbers are going to go down. Electricity is going to go down.
You know,
it fuels sort of everything, not just cars. It fuels the economy. If you get that down, one of the reasons I was so successful my first term is I was able to keep.
Because you considered 1 million people dying from COVID a plus?
Gasoline prices down. I was able to keep energy down. Now.
No, you weren't. The shale oil revolution did that. What are you talking about?
Look, if I decided not to go into Iran, which would have been a terrible thing, for 47 years, no president had the guts to do it, and they should have done it. And I know at least one, and I think all of them that are living.
I am of the mind that he means Bush in this situation simply because Cheney was with him. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Oh my God. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, MZ. He means Bush because he thinks with Cheney and Bolton and all those guys, they were ready to kill everybody, which they kind of were.
Are sitting back watching this and say we should have done it. This should have
No, they aren't. They've literally all said, there's a reason why we didn't.
been done long before me. It would have been much easier to do. This should have been
This is the same shit as like Obama and Biden left me a mess.
done long before me.
Mr. President, let me
What
ask you.
Obama did with that Iran nuclear deal, that was the worst deal ever made. That gave them a path to a nuclear weapon, a short-term path to a nuclear weapon.
No. Tearing it up did.
I terminated it. It was the greatest thing I did. They would have had a nuclear weapon 4 years ago.
To quote the Terminator, fuck you, asshole.
Then we hit them with the B-2 bombers 8 months ago. They would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month, maybe 2 weeks.
You know, it depends on how industrious and productive they are. You know what I mean? Are they go-getters or not?
And they would have used it on Israel and the Middle East. And they would have used it on us too. And not just
Just one? What does it do? Ricochet?
Israel, by the way. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE.
Where you have golf courses and billion-dollar deals, and your son-in-law is overseeing a $3 billion wealth fund, and you guys with your fucking board of peace for Gaza are basically hoovering up billions of dollars and sitting on them until someday when you're magically going to spend them on the Palestinians that you know will never come, so you can use them as leverage to buy and sell in short stocks.
Countries that were shocked when they got hit. You know, these countries were not expected to be hit because they were going after those countries. They were going over to take over the Middle East, and we stopped them.
Boy, that was a hard fucking cut, too. You know he wasn't done talking, right? You know he was, like, that's not the end of that conversation at all. I don't know if there is another half to this. I don't think so. I think that's all they could salvage from it. Yeah. Nope. That's it. By the way, this is so fucking weird. Okay. I showed part of this morning, this next one. I think this is the one, right? Yeah. I'm fairly certain this is part of it. If it's not, it's equally as stupid. So it's okay. But there comes a time when the panic of idiots is all we will hear. It should be in Revelations. And lo, I opened up the third seal, and the panic cries of morons. You know, there was a wailing and a bashing of foreheads on desks as these assholes flailed about in things they didn't understand. And no better person, hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Shows that these days than Glenn Beck. Urgent. This insane new tech is about to rewrite every rule of modern life. That's right. This is clear your browser history. Here comes quantum mechanics.
You know, I was just listening to Jason talk to the insiders about...
Oh, boy. Yep, this is the clip. Remember what the right used to tell us about misinformation and malinformation and, you know, and disinfo and all that stuff, and how it was all a hoax and was made up by the censorship industrial complex, and this all that they just try to hype train. Look at that. Thank you guys. Remember that? Remember when they were saying, especially around COVID? Yeah. Okay. Guess who's on the misinformation train now?
Misinformation and how bad things are getting. We're living in a world of propaganda now.
Again, I'm going to point this out because I pointed out this morning. Says the guy in the fake cabin. That's a fucking cartoon of a set. That stove isn't ever used. That window, the mountain is not always sunny. The door's open. Will you letting the bears in, you dumb motherfucker? It's propaganda. Shut the fuck up. Dude in his other studio has his fucking name like it's on everything. Like, Jesus Christ. It's so lame. And this is something we know a lot about.
We were just talking about it, and it's much worse than people think.
Prove it to me. And use religious iconography to make me think that.
And, you know, that might be something that is good that's going to come out as a result of this war.
Yeah, that's the silver lining.
Is people are going to understand how.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is about like Iran's Lego videos, you dumb motherfucker.
Bad propaganda has become.
It's terrible. It's so terrible. Like, people actually think Trump wants to make America great again and that he's America first and that he wrote The Art of the Deal. Can you believe that? That's incredible. Mm-hmm.
And it's not just on war. It's on almost everything. And as
yeah, like I can't flip through without. I know. I'm already watching The Pit. It's a fabulous show. Lay off. No.
I showed you a minute ago,
this is going to be too dumb even from, right? It's going to be painfully dumb. I know it. This is
Dumb, dumb, stupid. Dumb, silly, stupid, dumb, dumb. Dopey, dippy, dumb, dumb, stupid, really dumb. Moron!
This is, yeah. Hype train. We got another hype train. Thank you so much. Or it might be the same one, just passing by.
Is not giving you raw facts.
Okay, AI is not giving me raw facts. Mine does because I tell it to.
You have to understand that. AI, I've always said this.
You have not always said
Don't
this.
fear the machine. Fear the algorithm.
Yeah, that's true. I like when that one time when you were peeing at that truck stop and it started to burn, everybody in the whole place heard you yelling that out loud. Don't fear the machine, fear the algorithm. Oh. Yeah, I just whip that out anytime. Whenever your kid, Grandpa, what's the secret to life? Don't fear the machine, fear the algorithm.
Or better yet,
I have that whittled on a fake plaque I bought at Filene's basement. Oh.
fear the person that programmed the algorithm.
Well, why didn't you just say that in the first place? Don't fear the machine, fear the algorithm, but not the algorithm, the person that made the algorithm. That doesn't help me. How about fear the person behind the algorithm? Mm-hmm. Algorithm's a little softer word. We're going to have to figure out another word for that to make it sound spooky. You know what I mean? It's like bureaucrat. Didn't work after a while. We had to come up with deep state. We got to come up with something better than algorithm. Algorithm sounds like a soul singer from the 70s. Ladies and gentlemen, algorithm. I've been wondering why we can't make it tonight. If I would buy you a drink and we could play where it stinks. Sorry, algorithm had some naughty songs. All right. Made myself blush with that one. That was wonderful.
What was their intent? How did they train this model?
How am I supposed to ask them?
These models have to be trained to think like us.
Oh, God. No. Hopefully they're trained to not to think like you, but to think like smart people.
And so, as I just laid out from a great study that has just come out from Pirate Wires,
yes, a new study. That's never given us a shitty waste of time news cycle.
That talks about most of the AI, one of the training grounds to think like humans
is everything on the internet
is Reddit. That's not a good place to train AI.
Well, it's upvoting responses, so it's actually a great way for coding, especially.
Reddit? Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
This is why
What you want them to do? Discord? No offense. We have a great Discord if you want to join it.
I have yet to release George AI to the public.
Right. Oh, by the way, he's making a George Washington AI it'll be just like talking to George Washington until it tells you to kill yourself.
Eventually, we will after we work out all the kinks. But I want to make sure that.
What? I don't know. I think, why are you assuming that George Washington wasn't a wee bit kinky? Come on, Martha, let me take out these wooden teeth and let's get down to business.
Thing is contained and it is trained only on original documents. So it's not going out to Reddit for the love of Pete. It's not doing any of that stuff.
Yet.
Because that's where danger comes in.
Is it? That's where it comes from?
Want an accurate account of what was done at the time in the words of the founders. I don't want any opinion. I'll make my opinion. You can make your opinion. But I want just the accurate, raw information. That's not what you're getting. You know, right now.
Yeah, because they're not training it to be like a recreation of a dead person, you dumb motherfucker.
Now, 40% of all searches, 40% of all searches are now AI. Google is still number one, but
No. First of all, Google is using AI. They use an algorithm. They've always used an algorithm, even before AI showed up.
Google not AI as well?
Yes.
At some point, it's fully AI. Google is working on AI.
Oh God, this is so fucking. Do I have to?
Dum 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 stupid dumb silly stupid dum 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 dumpy dippy dum dum stupid really dumb dum 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 dum
Shit. You imagine working at this asshole's place?
Well, they're a contender as well, and they're not going to be put out of business. Google is one of them, is trained on Reddit. So when you do a Google search, are you getting stuff as fact that came from Reddit, from an upvote on Reddit that might have had 6 people?
No, you're not.
People vote.
It's trained on Reddit on how people interact in short form. Not the content, not the information. It's how people type back and forth, how people message each other on big bulletin board like systems, so that it can understand shorthand and odd phrasing and colloquialisms and all that kind of stuff. And the most understandable will obviously work their way to the top because most people understand it and they give it a thumbs up. And if it's worded poorly and all that kind of stuff, it'll be voted down. It's an obvious tap, but it's not the primary source, you fucking dickhead.
Yet that this is what it is. And when I'm trying to find out what does it mean about Gaza, those 6 people that upvoted that on.
Oh my fucking God. You think ChatGPT and Gemini are getting their answers about Gaza from fucking Reddit threads?
Reddit that was then ingested and training the AI machine at Google?
No, that's not how it works. Trains on Reddit on how to talk, not what to talk about. You stupid son of a bitch. Okay, this is fucking aggravating.
At ChatGPT, that started with a terrorist group. And now it's just in the machine as fact. And so when you ask about...
Oh, sorry. So Hamas is posting on Reddit. They're getting upvotes, and he's afraid that you're going to get favorable Hamas responses from ChatGPT because it was taking Hamas's propaganda off of Reddit. Jesus Christ.
Palestine or whatever. You may be getting that as part of...
Well, maybe ask for references, you stupid...
your information as solid information. It's really, really dangerous. And the world is...
Yeah, they might be citing you, which is worse.
Changing so rapidly. We are in the place to where I've been warning since the 1990s, probably the first warning that I ever gave before I started doing this particular job on, talking about politics, was about AI. And it was in the 90s. And I said, there's going to come a time before 2030. Think of this. Before 2030, there's going to come a time to where you will not be able to believe your eyes or your ears.
and to prove that, I'm going to start the blaze.
That fake video, I didn't call it a deep fake because nobody was even talking about it at the time. Fake video. They're going to be able to make video and audio.
Okay, so you were worried a video of you would be leaking out, and so you wanted to tell everybody that if that ever surfaces, it's probably fake.
So good that you will not be able to tell if it's real or not. And I talked about how we have to know what truth is and how to find the truth, that it's beyond what your eyes and ears will tell.
Jesus Christ. No pun intended, that's where he's going.
Tell you. We're about to get much more complex. Today is World Quantum Day. April 14th. It comes from, I could tell you why it's April 14th. It's not,
Yeah, tell me. Tell us all.
it doesn't matter. It's a bunch of geek stuff. But
Yeah. Explain World Quantum Day to us.
this is trending today, and it is the number one trend on Google. And I don't believe everyone's talking about Quantum Day. I don't believe that's the number one trend in the world or in America. Really? That? Who even, did you know it was Quantum Day?
Yes, I'm in Nerd Halen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
I think Google and the algorithm
You think you killed that ram and that buffalo on the wall behind you.
are pushing
I'm kidding, he doesn't.
that up because they think it is important. I happen to think it's important as well, but I don't play tricks with that. This is so important because science is
Oh my God, wait. Does this asshole think that because Google has those funny little reminders on certain days, like it's National Ice Cream Day, and they turned Google into a bunch of ice cream cones. Does he think that that's them propagandizing, like it's National Quantum Day, and they have it at the top? That's them going, everybody loves this. You just don't even fucking know. Does he, like when they put Christmas lights on Google and stuff, and like Christmas is the number one trending thing? Did you know that? I'm pretty sure that's what he saw.
now out of the laboratory and into your bank account and your medicine cabinet and your grocery bill and your national security and your job and your school, everything.
I'm good. I mean, I guess I wouldn't like everybody up in my grill, but I'm not afraid of it in that regard.
Quantum computing is
You seem really nervous is all I'm saying, dude. I don't think that's going to be a real worry, but you seem, more nervous than the average person.
today is the day that they're trying to get people to pay attention to quantum computing and what
Like a bunch of assholes.
it actually means. Quantum computing is something that I have struggled with forever
Kind of like English.
because I'm not mathematically minded at all.
And now tell us about your verbal skills as a judge.
I just don't think that way.
Or at all.
Never have. And trying to understand anything that is based in deep mathematics is very difficult for me. But then you take in quantum
Maybe then you should shut the fuck up about economics. I think that's just considered a first step.
computing and quantum theory, and it's because it's insane. It's insane.
No, it's not insane. It's well within human conception, and you don't have to be crazy to postulate on the possibilities of it, and you don't actually have to understand the mathematical language around it to understand the concept itself. Because the math is just a descriptive; it's not the definitive. See, the problem with a lot of people have with math is that when it's a definitive and not a descriptive, meaning that I'm just having to do math for math's sake. But if there are two apples on the table and I know there are two apples on the table, I need to get two apples, then I'm good. I know I was supposed to get two apples. I've taken the two apples. I'm fine. So that's the kind of mathing that involves a math as a descriptive, not a definitive. But if you're doing math for math's sake, that's where people get really fucking confused. Once you plug in, that's why algebra is hard for some people, trigonometry and those kind of things. It's too conceptual in places because there are missing numbers. And so we're doing math for if we have to do this problem later, what is it? If we don't have an X right now, but if we fill in whatever X is later, how would we work this out? Like that's hard for people. When it comes to quantum equations, you're not defining the equation, the circumstance via the equation. You're describing it. I just realized Glenn Beck would not understand anything I just said. Okay.
read the book Alice in Quantum Land, so I know how crazy it is. I've tried, and I still don't really understand it. But let me
read The Tao of Physics by Fritjof Capra. It's great. Well, go watch Mind Walk.
try to explain
That's not even quantum physics. That's just, experimental physics. And it's,
it to you in this way. Right now, let's say we wanted to find out,
some.
how to solve the war in Iran. And we wanted to gather together the 1,000 most important minds, and then all of the studies from all of the war books and all of the strategy
All the war books.
books. We got everybody in a room. We got all of this whole library there.
And a bunch of guys from Reddit. Don't forget, we always have to have them there. But whatever, slash Groiper, have those guys on.
And we said, come up with an answer. Well, it might take us years to come up with the right answer if it is right. But we'd have arguments about it. We'd go back and forth. Everybody would have different opinions. And then
we would test and try things instead of just sit in a room
to solve it and come up with one answer. What quantum computing is, take all of those people and say they have a notepad, okay? And
oh boy, this is going to be brilliant.
And that they are instantly accessing everyone else's knowledge, every book that has ever been written on it at exactly the same moment. And they're writing down different.
Now, keep in mind, these people have to be frozen to 400 degrees below zero.
Different theories.
Celsius.
And at the same time they're writing
to do this
down, they also know what everyone else in the room is writing down and are taking that into their consideration at the same time. And in fact, if there are people in different cities that are doing this, that are not connected by wires or anything else, they also magically can know exactly what is on that notepad.
This is fucking ridiculous as an analogy.
Okay. It's crazy. That's what quantum machines can do. That's why they can chew through problems that should have taken, decades, if not lifetimes.
But they have to be definitive, not descriptive, meaning they have to have no organic moving parts. They have to be, how to measure the actual speed of light or the curvature of gravity and all those kind of things, because those are static and we can't do the equations on them because of how long it would take us to work them out. But that's different than how do you solve your fucking emotional problems, you absolute dickhead. Because there is no solution in that regard. There's no version of it where there's a single light switch. It never results to the binary. Fuck.
A regular supercomputer might take them longer to
I'll have the soup.
Solve that with a supercomputer than the age of the universe, and it can solve it. Why does any of this matter?
Because you think it nullifies the contents of the Bible?
I know you're worried about your mortgage and the gas price and everything else, but...
Well, according to quantum theory, I am, I will, and I won't, and I don't, and I do, all at the same time.
Quantum is about to touch everything in your life.
Everything? Well, why didn't you bring this up in the first place? Quantum's going to touch everything. My goodness. Is it going to everything? Gently, I hope.
The way electricity did in the 1930s or the internet did.
I don't know, a mix, slap and tickle, as it were.
In the 1990s. People were like, the internet, it's a fad. No, it's not, is it?
Straw dog.
This is going to touch the future of medicine right now.
You think computers in the future are going to get faster, and with them faster computers, we're going to use them to do more science stuff, and some of that's going to happen in medicine, biology, and they're going to use it and program some stuff and look at it? You think so? Really? I don't buy it.
Now, quantum computing has looked into protein folds.
Sorry. For what? Spare change?
What our diseases, and especially things like Alzheimer's, when protein in our body folds incorrectly.
That's right. It's Alzheimer's is just origami gone wrong. I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson. Your husband is 98 years old, and it's to be expected he'd have a bad case of brain origami. Oh my God. He doesn't even like oregano. No, it's a different.
It folds in such a way, and it
It's fucking so dumb.
causes Alzheimer's, this theory. And so
Obviously.
we need to know how this protein folds so we can
unfold it.
unfold it. Or
That's right. So we can iron it. We need to, Quantum, think of it this way, okay? Your brain is like a lumpy party dress, and you got a night out on the town. And what we're going to do is take quantum, and we're going to iron all the wrinkles out of your brain, make it nice and smooth, like Glenn Beck's.
Fold it and make it in the right shape, or block it. Well,
or both, or neither, or all of them at the same time, or none of them at the same time. That's the beauty of quantum. Bleem.
To study how proteins can fold is something that would have taken us lifetimes to do. Okay,
Sure. So this is a net positive. Okay. Wait a minute. Unless it's the guys on, there isn't a thread on Reddit about like r/protein folding, and then when it's got a bunch of images, you have to be 21 to view.
Supercomputers. We just folded all of the proteins. Like,
why would you do that?
I think it was like in a year.
Sorry, you just gave everyone Alzheimer's? Way to go, dumbass.
Year or two. Because of quantum computing. All of them.
We just folded all the proteins.
So now that we know how they can
Thanks, Josh.
fold, now we know how to unfold them. And now we can go in with quantum computing and say,
and live forever.
Wait a minute. Here's Alzheimer. Here's how it's.
Yes. Hey, Alzheimer, come over here. What? Come here. Where? Over here. Where? Over here. Guy forgets everything.
Folding. How do we unfold this so it doesn't happen? And does this drug work? No. Does this drug work? Does this drug work? Does this work? Not one at a time. All of them at the same time.
Yeah, again, I don't know how this is supposed to be a warning, but thank you, Potatoes.
That means faster, cheaper drug discovery instead of the 10-year billion-dollar.
Hey, man, some drug discoveries should take you a while. You gotta ease in to them, bro. You can't fucking, I'm gonna tell you, man, let me tell you, like, this is not something you want to jump right into. You know, you gotta ease yourself in there, man. Rushing. Glenn Beck wants you to rush into this, man, but not me. Yeah, you try that or whatever. Anyways, what were you fucking talking about?
Guessing game that we play now, it's done.
Yeah, we're done. At the Blaze Medical Facility, they're no longer having to just experiment on Cambodians they kidnap. What the fuck is he talking about?
We are on the edge of solving some of the worst diseases ever.
Well, then why are you on the air and not getting back to work?
It's going to.
What about what if they're not the worst? What if they just kind of suck? Can we get around to those too? Some diseases just kind of suck.
Affect your wallet, because better optimization is going to mean cheaper shipping, smarter traffic lights, lower energy bills. Financial firms are already testing quantum algorithms for risk modeling, all of this stuff. Your phone number and your privacy, the same power that cracks today's encryption.
Wait a minute. Quantum computers can open my drapes? Hello. Sorry. I'm going to have to start doing this show with pants on.
That locks your online banking is why governments and companies are racing to roll out post-quantum
encryption.
Codes.
Sure. We'll go with codes. Because it could never break a code.
Right now, there's a rush to harvest all the data you can and decrypt it later. Bad actors are scooping up all of this encrypted data because they know a quantum machine will open it later. And once that happens, we're in real trouble. There are no secrets anywhere. There are no bank accounts. There's nothing. With your job and your kids, the quantum workforce isn't, some physicist anymore. We're going to need quantum literate engineers and software people and ethicists and policy people. And
that's not you.
People that just can explain things to people. The
I'm pretty good at it.
bottleneck now is not the hardware. It's humans who understand enough to steer it. How do you steer something that nobody really even understands?
All right. You know, water is the combination of two hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom, and that it is H2O as you understand it. But technically, it is H1.50. It's a destabilized atom or electron on the hydrogen attaches itself to one in the oxygen. That's what binds it to it. So it stabilizes at 2 because it borrows 1 or half of 1. It shares that, which is so commie and Democrat. And but do you have to understand the creation of water as a concept to create a dam? No. Once you know it's drinkable, do you need to understand what hydration does to your cells to know the value of drinking water? No. Don't worry, Glenn. You can stay dumb.
Okay. This is something that has been a problem for a very, very long time.
Well, for stupid people.
Einstein talked about this. He did not like this.
Oh, Bell's theorem. It's spooky activity from a distance.
No
whatever.
one understood in Einstein's time that it would lead to solar panels and LEDs and lasers in the supermarket scanner. The 1940s quantum mechanics gave us the transistor. Suddenly you had a computer in your pocket instead of something that took the size of...
Sorry, no, quantum mechanics did not give us the transistor, you dumb motherfucker. The transistor was a natural electronic evolution from the vacuum tube.
A room. Every single leap looked ivory tower until the minute it showed up in your kitchen.
And now it's in your kitchen, and was your fucking kitchen destroyed by the invention of the microwave?
So right now, this stuff looks like
the discovery of the microwave and the creation of the device, the microwave.
Ivory tower stuff, but it's not. That's why World Quantum Day, which is today.
Stop reminding me, okay? What are you, part of the propaganda?
Isn't cute. It is actually urgent. Scientists and, I hate this word, hyperscalers are moving from theory to infrastructure right now.
Or they already did, or they already will, or won't, or don't, or do at the same time.
And
how would you even know? Maybe you're living in a universe literally created by that quantum scaling effect, and without it, that we wouldn't have come. Maybe that's the Big Bang and it already happened. And unless they get to it and make it happen, our universe will cease to exist. Enjoy.
Billions are being spent. National strategies in the US and Europe and China are locked in. And the average person thinks that, this is all Star Trek stuff and only nerds understand it.
Thank you.
It's not true.
Well, you don't understand it, so I'm just saying it fits the stereotype.
What this means is your kids might get cancer treatments tailored in weeks instead of years.
That's terrible. Thanks for warning us.
It means your retirement portfolio might be protected instead of hacked. It means the next industrial revolution is already in the lab, and the direction it takes is being shaped as much by voters and parents and everyday citizens as it is by the people in white coats. You really need to understand it. Do one simple thing.
Okay, that was all gibberish.
Watch a 5-minute explainer. I think Google is running this now. 5-minute explainer. Tell your kids why April 14th, was selected. April 14th, 414 means something in the quantum world. Look it up for yourself. Tell them why it's more. They know why 420 is important. Tell them why this is more important than 420, and it might even be more impossible to understand than 6767. But because of the
he's so hip,
super tiny rules of the universe, we are about to rewrite the big rules of everyday life. And the people who understand
Glenn's going to start crying again.
And that, ones that understand it first, won't just watch the future, you'll help write it and protect the future.
How? What are you talking about? If you're not actually on the quantum computer teams, you're not going to have access to this fucking thing for a while. And if it's that high level, you're not going to be able to tap into it and go, hey, I got one of those new quantum phones. What are you talking about? Teach your children well. Let them accidentally fall into a parallel universe while fucking around with a positron collider in the middle of Switzerland. What the fuck?
That's why this matters to you.
Thank you. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's he started out with going, there's no way National Quantum Day is the number one thing on Google, and Google told you it was, and therefore propaganda, and yet you should really check it out because it's super important. It should be the number one trending thing. Good God. This asshole doesn't even understand his own algorithm, which is based on the fact that his computers are hooked up to a news service, so everybody there is using them all the time. So they're going to get the most generic big news stories. Anything that's breaking or special to the day is going to leap right to the top of the algorithm because of how they actually want information delivered to them. I bet he also knows exactly when Ben Shapiro drops a new video. You know what I mean? Fuck me. All right. While we're in Stupid Town, we might as well visit the mayor. Greg Kelly, the most miserable man on the internet, has new evidence and a 4-minute video, which is mercifully short, like him.
And I got a lot of evidence.
A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. Mark Twain. That's why the truth should always go barefoot. Hal Sparks.
About something that should have been evidence day one, but here we are. What is it?
Should have been evidence day one.
It is 7 years later. The 2019 impeachment of Donald Trump. That
Jesus Christ. What? Like, give me a good picture of him where he looks like a canned ham. Holy God.
Was an absolute crime.
No, it wasn't.
The people.
Well, it was a crime that that he wasn't removed from office, I guess.
Who prosecuted him, the people who put in the phony whistleblowers complaint.
They weren't phony whistleblowers complaints.
The impeachment managers, anybody who touched this case from the opposing side.
What about the ones that were on your side?
Should be arrested, tried, and jailed. Absolutely. It's
based on what? Tell us. What was the big thing? Let us know.
So interesting, though. Now it seems like ancient history. And we find out new things about what really happened, and suddenly it doesn't seem newsworthy anymore. Why is that?
Because it's not really newsworthy?
The New York Times doesn't want to undermine their Pulitzer Prize shelf or something like that.
Well, let's see. Fire it up, man. Let me hear the new evidence.
Country can't really remember now, distracted by this nonsense. And so was our president, and so was our entire government. The trial lasted, get this, how long was it again? 21
months?
days.
21 days. Wow, 21 whole days. He golfed more than that. He golfed during it.
They screwed around about this phony issue. Totally phony.
Totally phony. What's the phony issue?
It was a coup, everybody.
Okay, it was a coup based on a phony lie that was what?
It was a coup. And yeah, it's like ancient history right now. 2019, 2020, who cares, right? We got.
I do. I think he was guilty, and I think he deserved to be removed from office by the Senate. I think they chickened out.
But other things, no. This is what they're banking on, that no one's going to go through the paperwork. And when the government, like Tulsi Gabbard, does, you can't engage the mainstream media. Well, it is our responsibility. I consider myself conservative. I consider this to be somewhat conservative media, fair to say.
Yeah, you're definitely not mainstream is what you mean, because you do the show from a garage.
Right? Look, you got to ask the other hosts what their philosophy is.
Okay, DNI Tulsi Gabbard exposes conspiracy used by Congress to impeach President Trump. Well, shit. Let's hear it.
You know where I'm coming from. I
don't care where you're coming from. You got 4 minutes, fucker. Get to it.
MAGA. This report is amazing.
It's amazing. It's so sexy.
So much about this case. It proves the outright corruption of basically all of the players.
Which part?
When they try to take down Trump.
Like what?
With that phony impeachment number one. Yeah, it's interesting. Newspapers do this all the time, right? The allegation is huge. The correction, if they deign to do it, Right down there. Read the fine print. Well, it wasn't
I can't because that's a image you got off the internet that has nothing to do with this.
a coup. It was. And thanks
It was not.
to Tulsi Gabbard, we're finding out some very interesting details.
Great.
And
What are
folks, I'm going through the documents myself, and it does expose a conspiracy used by Congress to impeach President Trump, and they had a lot of cooperation from the deep state. I've been going through these documents.
Okay, what'd you find?
They are tedious. They are not.
No, that's you're thinking. See, here's what happens. Whenever someone reads something, they read it in their own voice, in their own head. They vocalize their reading inside their head. If you can eliminate that, that helps you speed read. The reason you think it's tedious is because your brain is, in effect, an arena of tedium.
Fun to read, and it's not like, and this is why.
You're right. Oh, there's the smoking gun. It's not like that. It's not like there's a moment where you're like, got him. It's not like,
This is why. If the New York Times and the rest, if they don't pay it attention, it just kind of seems to fade away, but it must not. Number one,
okay, what is
they
it?
violated their own procedures. Now that means
Oh my God, a violation of procedure. They did, yes. Sure, we found the young girl in the trunk because she was screaming, but they were supposed to read the guy's rights before they opened the trunk, and she's a witness, but
that sound like a big deal.
it isn't.
And this guy, Michael Atkinson is his name. I mean, who really cares about Michael Atkinson, right? The former Inspector General for the intelligence community. Well, I believe he was in on it.
All right. Well, then treason, I guess.
Absolutely. This guy came in with a phony baloney story about the phone call that he heard somebody talk about.
Slow down. I'm being overwhelmed with material evidence and detail.
We have his whistleblower complaint. The guy who went to, basically, this is like the human resources guy, right? This is the guy you go to get other people in trouble. Sometimes human resources does that. This is the one.
I do not have direct knowledge of private comments or communications by the president. However, I have direct knowledge of interagency discussions about Ukraine in which the presidential instructions and comments have been conveyed. Right. Other people relayed what the president, it's hearsay, but that's why it's different than a court of law. It's an impeachment.
Page one. I know it's a little bit hard to read here, but
it's not hard to read at all. I'm pretty good at it.
This is the first thing. This is the whistleblower. And he says, I do not have direct knowledge of private comments or communications by the president. However, I have direct knowledge of interagency discussions about Ukraine in which blah, 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 blah.
No. Not blah, 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 blah. It does not say blah, 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 you fucking asshole. It says in which presidential instructions and comments have been conveyed, meaning that people who are charged in their legal duties with carrying out exactly what the president has asked are conveying what he is saying and his comments, what he said to them in a legally binding way to other people in the intelligence community, because that's literally part of what they take an oath to do. He didn't hear office chit chat, you dumbass. And of course, this is on page 2 because you can't read any further.
I have no direct knowledge of private communications. They should have thrown him out of the office right then and there.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works. I wasn't on the phone call, but I heard their side of the phone call. You're such a fucking tool.
That's what the handbook says to do. Get out of here. You can't blow the whistle. Find somebody else to blow the whistle.
Yeah, you can. Other people came away. Okay, let me get this thing. The people who they're on the phone with the president. He says something to them, allegedly. They go, you got it, boss. Click. The president told me to do this illegal thing. And that person says that around or to somebody else. And that person goes up the chain and is a whistleblower and goes, hey, so-and-so said the president said this. The president can deny he said that, in which case that person was, I guess, pantomiming the phone call, making it up out of whole cloth, telling his other people that, to do things the president never told him to do, which still makes the person who heard it relayed a legit whistleblower because the person that is saying things that are illegal to do. The difference is, were they really from the president? And the answer is yes.
You don't have a whistle.
Oh man, that's his way out. That's the whole thing. Boom. Case fucking closed. Greg Kelly with the sweep up. Gee, I can't imagine why people aren't, up in arms. I don't know why that's not a hot story right now. Do I have time? Yeah. Okay. This, I don't even want to look into how long. Yeah, this isn't long. Okay, good. Remember Pat Gray and his and the crawl space crowd that he has in his weird little bunker they give him at the Blaze. Apparently, did Trump really think it was a Dr. Meme? Internet reacts. So they're going through this is them hiding behind other people on Twitter instead of criticizing the thing itself.
President Trump has a little bit of fallout still going on because of that meme.
Wasn't a meme, fucko.
It's just bad judgment.
It was not a meme. It's not a meme.
You know?
Yeah.
It's an AI photo that was full of self-aggrandizement. It was not a meme. I know they wanted to be a meme because meme sounds small.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And
No, it was not.
Should
Poor
own
judgment.
up to it.
He did take it down.
And he did.
He
took it.
No, he didn't. He didn't take it down. Somebody else took it down. If you listen to how he talks about it, he goes, the woman goes, did you, what was your response to people disliking the fact that you put that picture up? And then, is that why you took it down? He goes, I just heard about that. He had just heard about someone taking the picture down, that his staff took the picture down. That's what he was talking about. Listen to what he says.
Down, he owned up to it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Wes.
You got the first part right.
He did take
He
it
took
down.
it down.
Yeah, look at all these assholes having to cornhole themselves for this dickhead and do it like you could tell they do it begrudgingly with this fucking plastered smile.
He took it down.
Did take it down. Here he addressed.
Then how about you don't worry about the rest?
Cut 3.
Clip 3.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support.
No.
And only.
You hear Pat, again, these guys play their videos without stopping, and you can hear him go, no. Ha! They're laughing at his lie right now. They are laughing at what a pathetic liar Donald Trump is, just for the record.
Fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that?
Oh,
it's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example, the 11,000, I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's going through some very serious cancer treatment, so
Yes, sir.
this goes a long way.
Yes, sir. It sure does.
Now you're just insulting our intelligence.
What intelligence?
Don't do that.
Guys, this kind of behavior from him is not fucking new at all.
Oh, hello there.
So if you thought he's not the kind of person to do this kind of shit that he's, by the way, been doing for years, then it's not him anymore. It's you.
I think we need to see Dr. Trump in action.
I mean, why not just?
There we go.
Oh, so other people started putting joke memes up, and this is one of them. Sir, can we help you? No, I work here.
See, there he is. There he is.
Sir, can we help you? No, I work here.
Yeah. If you're
This would be very normal if they were making, this is a meme, by the way. This is what a meme is. This would be very normal if that was Biden. This is how they acted towards him.
Well,
So-
seriously,
in the
why not
operating
just
room and he's
say-
robe clad.
Why not just say, yeah, I took it down. I
Made a mistake.
I posted it. Then I thought better of it.
Posted it too hastily. I should
And I
have
thought
done that.
better of it. Move on.
I'd appreciate that.
Because that would require character.
But that's not where he went. So instead, again, he insulted our intelligence by saying, I thought it was a doctor. Did you really? Yeah. Okay. Get out of here.
So why don't you just shut up about it?
Why are you making it so hard for us turd polishers over here at the Blaze?
So you may be
with our unplayed guitars.
asking yourself who was standing next to him there.
Yeah.
Well, he clip 1. He had an order yesterday with DoorDash.
Oh yeah.
And the delivery
Yeah,
was
DoorDash
made.
come
Clip
to the
1,
White
please.
House. Awesome.
Awesome.
That's very nice.
Oh, look, it's McDonald's delivered.
This doesn't look staged, does it?
They're all your favorites.
That's right. He's a good. DoorDash is doing a good job. So, the reason for this is the fact that I heard you picked up an extra $11,000 that we didn't need.
All right, we saw this already.
Tips,
okay.
photo op there.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
I like it.
Huh? What?
He said, "This doesn't look staged, does it?" No, no,
Not at
that
all.
looked natural as Tom Steyer dancing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh. But he did. He's a good tipper, though.
Yeah,
as you'll see in clip 2.
Are the White House good tippers? Do you know?
Uh-oh, she didn't get a tip.
Potentially. Yes, very.
This is literally the most
Oh, hello there.
look he has ever had on his fucking face. Like, I forgot to do the thing. Thanks for reminding me.
Mr. President, can I ask you something?
That's good. Thank you. You reminded me.
Mr. President.
$100 bill. Oh, yeah, right here. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about the photo op. That was the whole point of me looking like a nice guy giving you $100 here.
Yikes. These guys are on his team.
No tax on that, by the way.
Just happened to catch that as it was unfolding.
Tip, yeah. That's not the way DoorDash works. I mean,
Yeah, it isn't able. People are not usually able to. Yeah, DoorDash people cannot walk onto White House grounds.
That is true.
You order,
and you tip them with the app,
so you know what you're getting.
Right.
Then they deliver it.
Yes.
Hey, don't ruin the whole Trump bit.
Wait, are you saying then that was set up?
Jeffy.
That perfectly natural scene.
Jeffy, you know how this works.
Oh, God. Can you imagine trying to bail yourself out with sarcasm at this point? Holy shit. Those guys, by the way, again, add that to the stack of the people who did not think they would be talking about this shit a year ago. This has got to, we should have a category called mixed emotions. I'm looking for those mixed emotions, just you and me together. That's off the new Algorithm record. You know how anti-Ukraine Benny Johnson and that crowd are. Robo-military in Ukraine. Ukraine just won the first battle using an entire robot army. Footage is insane! And it will be read at a numbingly slow pace by Benny Johnson flipping through tab after tab after tab of shitter.
We need more money. Give us more money. We need more money. Give us more money.
Jesus.
One of the greatest, if not the greatest, action film ever made is Terminator 2.
It's a sci-fi thriller, actually, but
Judgment Day, when a AI robot
the second
army is introduced to the battlefield fighting human beings. Just horrifying and iconic as
that's also in Terminator 1. In the original Terminator, there are scenes of this. They're just bigger in the sequel because they had more money.
The human skull is crushed and the robot soldiers advance. Of course, hard to kill them.
Yeah, it's a little tough, but you can do it, crowbar.
And with no human casualties, there's really no consideration for loss of life or loss at all. They just keep on fighting until the batteries go dead.
They've got a nuclear power source.
Everybody thought, well, what a dystopian hellscape. Clearly, this is something that we wouldn't want in real life, but here we are. It's 2026.
Boy, it looks a lot clunkier. I was expecting to have like big pecs in the biceps. This guy's got a little bit too much junk in the trunk. He needs to work out the glutes. This kind of things and things of that nature.
Every single one of your
eat some eggs and and hang a weight on its ding dong.
Conspiracy theories or opening sequences to your favorite movies from a couple decades ago have
Like Anchorman or
become real. Ukraine has captured a fortified Russian position using only ground robots and drones. No infantry. For the first time, Ukraine said.
So I guess that whole thing you were saying about them inevitably losing is not really a thing.
It took a Russian position using just drones and ground robots.
Yeah, that's what the big sentence said up top.
Zelensky said the wartime first, no Ukrainian infantry was involved or harmed. He said the robots have done over 22,000 missions in their 3 months, keeping many soldiers from harm. Zelensky said this in a new video. Obviously, things have been sort of slowly simmering in Ukraine.
Have they? The Russians have been losing, if that's what you mean. The Ukrainians just seized a huge chunk of territory back from them.
But the effects of this will, of course, be profound. Now, an important reminder that if you
mean the impact,
study the data, you'll know that 90+% of the casualties in the Ukraine war are now from drone attacks. This isn't new. It's been going on since 2023.
No, it's been increasing over the last. It was about 60% a year ago.
However, the fortifying and taking of positions with robot armies, that is new. The drone attacks have been suicide drones. They've been meant to obviously take the lives of soldiers that are in foxholes.
Oh, by the way, those aren't suicide drones. Those drop mortars or grenades. They return back.
To create terror, but they don't actually take ground necessarily.
Well, you're not holding the ground if you're no longer there.
And they can't hold ground. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Майбутнє вже на полі бою. І його творить Україна. Це наші наземні роботизовані комплекси. Перше в історії цієї війни ворожу позицію було взято.
Maybe turn the audio down on him speaking, or just let us read for ourselves, you weird chit-chatty dweeb.
Безпілотними платформами НРК та дронами. Окупанти здалися в полон. І цю операцію виконали без участі піхоти і без втрат з нашого боку. Ратель, Терміт, Ардал, Рись, Змій, Протектор, Воля і інші наші НРК. Лише за 3 місяці виконали на фронті вже більше 22 тисяч місій. Іншими словами, більше 22 тисяч разів збережено життя. У найбільш небезпечні зони замість воїна йшов робот.
Zelensky fucking rocks.
Well, I guess this is good news if you don't want to see Ukraine further completely liquidate their entire population as they have.
Liquidate their... No, sorry. Russia is doing the liquidating of the Ukrainian population.
Already done.
What the fuck? So they've already liquidated. Everything must go. Their entire population fighting back against a Russian invasion. Fuck you.
Effectively, the next major crisis in Europe is going to be, or in Eastern Europe, is going to be a population crisis. I wonder what they're going to do.
Fuck. Pretty sure they're going to fuck. pretty sure when this is all over, there's going to be a lot of fucking. It's one of those problems. It's not too hard to solve. Boink. Sorry. I should have said that a little better. Too hard to solve.
Time to get an H-1B program, right? Yeah.
What? Sorry.
They
would have fly over here and get pregnant and fly home.
They're highlighting some of the unmanned ground vehicles, and if this is what Ukraine has, imagine what we have. Goodness. The future is on the front lines. Ukraine is building
almost none of it.
These are ground robotic systems for the first time in history in the war. Enemy position was taken entirely with unmanned drone systems.
Yes, you've read that 4 fucking times, dipshit.
Ground systems. The occupiers surrendered. The operation was carried out.
Yeah, that's just what he fucking said. You read it along with him. The words were on the fucking screen.
Without infantry and without losses on our side. He names a couple of platforms here.
Read them. Say them out loud, dummy. Retel, Termit, Ardal, Reis, Zimie, Protector, Volya.
And other ground robotic systems have already carried out more than 22,000 missions. in just 3 months. This is about high technology protecting the highest value human life.
Benny does not like that.
So that's what it looks like. And no doubt these are being created by CIA cutout
What? They're what?
companies.
Why? What makes you think they couldn't come up with it on their own?
And for a human experimentation, which is what they're doing right now.
Sorry. I think he meant human experimentation. Did he say Cuban? Or am I?
Are being created by CIA cutout companies. And for a human experimentation.
No, for Cuban experimentation. That's what I thought he said.
Which is what they're doing right now.
No, they're not. You made that up. Fuck you. The Ukrainians are making these things. This is the business they're in. This is the reality they're up against. They spent the last 4 years doing this. A lot of this is just modified ground gear that they've had for a long time. Surveyors, speedboats, kayaks, and other shit. And they just modify them with engines and use, circuit boards that are fairly simple and FPV systems to drive them, you stupid asshole.
Is that a boat?
Sorry, and fuck you, the CIA? What are you blaming the CIA for? And,
Yeah, it looks like it. So here he is saying, we've also guaranteed maritime security, objectively the most current in the world, and nobody has carried out missions like the Ukrainians have in the Black Sea. CIA, it's carrying out these missions, you dumb ass, not.
Wow. So he's not, he can't give any, well, I mean, he was one of the Tenet Media guys. He was getting that sweet, sweet Russian money until he was busted. Somebody's a little butthurt.
Ukraine, but whatever,
Whatever.
We'll take your, have you tried saying please? Have you tried saying thank you? Right?
Yeah, he said it every single time he was in the White House, even when Vance and Trump tried to jump on him on behalf of Vladimir Putin.
When people talk about security in the Straits of Hormuz, it's a theoretical discussion. Those who speak about it have not conducted such operations themselves. Ukrainians have. We've fought an enemy fleet, airstrikes, and naval mines, and we have been through all of it. Our partners offer us cooperation and equal footing. Ukraine can help. Our naval drones, Sea Baby, and a bunch of other platforms are
Magura and Sargon. Why is that hard? Why do you bail out on something like that?
Well known. Ukraine's export offering too. It's our artillery, which we produce on the largest scale in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a CIA factory, and we're basically getting some money on it, so we should probably just sell it anyways. Probably just getting that anyways.
Our shells, which are now growing in number, and our armor, which has become more effective every single year, delivered by the defense industry.
Oh, look, he says he thanks everybody. I thank everybody involved in this. In production halls, design bureaus, laboratory test ranges, and production and repair, every day working for Ukraine. I think it's very...
Ukraine. I thank everybody involved in this, in the production halls, design bureaus, laboratories, and test ranges. I mean, if they actually are building these things,
they are actually building those things. You fucking tit.
Pretty impressive, frankly. Of course, Zelensky's going to be standing up there.
It's the leader of the country, you asshole.
In whatever Hollywood production this is, it does look literally like a Hollywood studio he's filming this on. Zelensky presents Ukraine's robot.
Were you just sad that Trump was doing his little sitcom side, under 5 adjunct scene with the DoorDash lady, and he's stuck faking this shit? He's got his Hollywood moment and just egged it, and Zelensky nails it.
Put soldiers to save the world. Oof. I'm not sure the world is fully ready for ground invasions accomplished by Black Mirror robot dogs. Boots on the ground will no longer carry the same political risk of sending our boys over there to fight. The temptation for robot-only ground invasion is enormous.
Okay, we still have fighter pilots and we still use drones. Shut the fuck up.
Imagine what happens when...
Yeah, it's fucking Ukraine's fault for walking along the street in that short skirt and leading us all, into fighting the drone wars.
It's all Terminator. Imagine what happens when there's no human lives lost. When you can just
Well, no, there would be some human lives lost. Otherwise, it's fucking just battle bots. The idea is that only works if the other side is going to lose something, right? They're going to lose lives. And so they'll either curtail their behavior and not invade you in the first fucking place, or the rest of the world will have to come to the rescue because they've been invaded by killer robots.
Out, right? And you're not going to have to write any letters home. Because, like, who the hell cares if that guy dies, right? Who cares? No.
Well, it's tax dollars.
No one cares. No one cares if a T-1000 dies.
Well, yeah, they do. I cried at the end of Judgment Day. What are you talking about?
European center of gravity has shifted to the east. Interesting. We've seen some of these robot dogs, by the way, on display. You can see here some of the kids playing at Mar-a-Lago with their nannies, and a robot dog patrolling to keep them safe. This is
patrolling just to patrol. It wouldn't do any of the safing, you know.
In early December of 2024, before President Trump was even sworn in. You can see further robot dogs patrolling Mar-a-Lago. Ooh, and it says U.S. Secret Service on the dogs as well. So you better believe that we'd be happy to use this also. Ukraine deploys robots to survive Russian kill zone. Something that is not necessarily new. In the hellscape of...
Just fucking pitiful. And honest to God, this is one of those situations where normally conservatives would get kind of like a military erection about this, where they're like, look at these fucking killing machines. This is great. But since he has spent his entire time rooting for Putin via Trump, he can't even take this as good news. This country was attacked. They didn't start shit. So, like, Russia could end this tomorrow by just going the fuck home.
Vorsk, Ukraine, is now fighting for survival with ground robots, not just soldiers. 90% of the supplies are being delivered by ground robots. You can see here, robots have taken over the logistics in the battle.
Yeah, logistics are the delivery part.
Ukrainian ground robotic systems are becoming an essential part of the arsenal, carrying out logistical reconnaissance and combat missions on the battlefield. Frontline logistics are changing fast. Ground robots now take on missions too dangerous for armored vehicles, navigating roads constantly hit by Russian fire.
Why are they being constantly hit by Russian fire? Aren't they still inside their own borders?
And now the humanoid robots are joining in. Ukraine now has 2 of these, apparently. What the hell are these?
They're Chinese knockoffs of the figure robots.
Well, it's a Phantom MK1. Phantom MK1. So here's what it is. This is a first production humanoid robot embodying decades of research and innovation. What does it do exactly?
It ballet, mostly ballet. It can make pancakes too.
How's this? It's got a minute.
I think it fails is the point, and it blows up, and it's better if it blows up than a human.
There you go.
No, you don't. Here's the joke.
They blow it up anyway.
Yeah, that's the point. That you're not going to lose a person.
Looks expensive.
Oh, shit. Looks expensive.
Times are changing, man.
They are. Yeah, you know, what? Let's go back to the days when we had cheap humans.
The rise of...
Sorry, what's more expensive? And let's understand the meanings of the words. There's cheap and there's costly and that kind of stuff, but expense. What's the higher expense? Bend over. What's the fucking higher expense? A group of wires and servos with a motherboard, or a human fucking being? looks expensive. Go watch the fucking Hurt Locker, you asshole.
The rise of AI soldiers. Look at this. Time Magazine. What happened?
Sorry, isn't Time Magazine a part of the mainstream media?
When...
All right, this is... I can't... Like, dude, if Terminator was this dull, there never would have been a sequel. How the fuck do you make killer robots boring? What an idiot. Hit the like, share the show, please, if you would. It's Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Can we do one last thing? I'm a little bit over, but give me one last thing. Because we haven't dropped by these dickheads in a while. Jimmy Dore. Yes, she's a spy. That's apparently Erica Kirk's mother. Erica Kirk's mother is a proven CIA spook. Obviously, because Erica Kirk is a honeypot that lured him to his death. That lured Charlie Kirk to his death.
Lori's inclusion in the list of NSA personnel alongside former directors like Lieutenant General Kenneth Minahan adds massive weight to the claim that she has spent her career embedded in the deep state apparatus.
Prove to me the deep state apparatus exists. And then also, because she worked at the National Security Agency doesn't mean she's a spook. It just means she works in a secret part of the government, but that doesn't mean she's a fucking spy or she's an operative intelligence person. It's just silly. Anyways.
If Lori is a confirmed intelligence asset...
She's not an asset. She was an employee of an intelligence agency. That's not an asset, you dickhead.
Her daughter's entire life story suddenly looks like a meticulously managed operation.
Okay, so Grok, or where do you think he got this from? It's an AI. This is AI generated. See the little icons before each part?
So it turns out Erica Kirk's mother has been a CIA spy or a spy for a long time. Now,
no, not everybody who works at CIA or anything is a spy. They have janitors too, you know, and they have people who are analysts and that kind of stuff. Those people aren't spies.
You know, she had like 50 different LLC companies that she creates and closes and all.
Trump has 1,500. What does that tell you?
And so Wolves in Finance have done a great job with that. And now Project Constitution says Lori Francis appears in Edward Snowden's leaked PRISM docs as NSA agent.
Oh, that's like way worse than CIA.
Erica Kirk's mom confirmed as intel. So I just discovered Lori Francis.
Let me guess. Project Constitute is an account that has a MAGA flag and was started in, what do you think? Indonesia? North Korea?
His name is in the leaked documents released by Edward Snowden. This document explicitly lists her under a section titled Docs.
It's hard not to be doxxed when you're on the docs.
Identifying her among a group of alleged NSA agents whose personal data was exposed. For those of us tracking the new TPUSA narrative, this isn't just a coinkydink. It's a confirmation of the intelligent asset theory. And
no, the intelligence asset theory, unlike you, which is like asshat theory. By the way, I don't have any dog in the race about defending Erica Kirk or any of that crowd. But I would like to point out that Jimmy and his buddies are all aha, no details.
You know, like any well-trained intelligence asset, she knows how to...
Oh, God, he's reading fucking Kurt's jokes again, isn't he?
Blend in by wearing what amounts to an aluminum foil pantsuit.
That's Kirk laughing at his own joke.
Anyway, it goes on. Huge tip just in. While digging into the Lori France background, bombshell evidence emerged tying her directly to the Intelligence and National Security Alliance, the premier nonprofit hub for intel thought leadership, networking, ex-spy directors, White House National Secretary staff,
National
Security staff, senior military, Congress members, and private sector spooks.
She used to work at the NSA. She didn't anymore. She got a job in a related field or work with a group that helps you get jobs in related fields.
She's listed as Miss Lauren Franzi alias alert on page 307 of a leaked 1,131-page NSA members directory from Cryptome/JAR2 archives. Miss Lauren Franzi, XXXE, so she has Sharon Doc.
So you're doxing her. You're giving out her email address, her old one. Yeah.
Scottsdale, Arizona, had her phone number, her fax number, her email at franzi@imetlabs.com. Franzi. This is all public knowledge stuff.
Lauren Fonzie.
That is funny. That's great. Lauren Fonzie.
So there it is. Ms. Lauren Franzi. There it is. Scottsdale email.
And
email her for confirmation.
We should probably email her for confirmation. Lori's inclusion in the list of NSA personnel alongside former directors like Lieutenant General Kenneth Minahan adds
you just read that.
Massive weight to the claim that she has spent her career embedded in the deep state apparatus.
I'm sorry. That was a clip from before they take a piece out.
Lori
Right?
is a confirmed
Boring.
Okay, one question. What
meticulously managed operation, which it was.
Okay.
So yes. So she's a honeypot. She had her husband killed. That's the baseline we're operating from right now. Her mom was a spook, and they were involved in military intelligence. And somehow the Trump administration wanted Charlie Kirk dead, and Kash Patel was more than happy to help because, once a spook, always a spook, or something like that. And just understand, I just want to know what the floor is for this grand conspiracy.
One question. What do you mean suddenly? I think the bitch is a clone, personally.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Why wouldn't you doubt it? Would it be the fact that human cloning hasn't existed for as long as she's been alive?
So there's one more paragraph here. The targeted infiltration of Charlie Kirk. The pieces are fitting together perfectly.
And they are because it says it right there.
We've always suspected that Erica's chance meeting with Charlie in an airport was too convenient to be real. Based on this new link to the NSA.
I don't know how chance it was. Weren't they there for the same event?
The investigation.
Also, dude, there's no such thing as a guy in an airport with a former Miss Arizona where their meeting is by chance.
Suggests a much darker timeline. Well, that explains everything.
Here comes the written joke. Yeah, hold up the paper so everybody knows this isn't your fault.
I think this is a cautionary tale for all the
fuck me
guys who are moving into a position of power. Beware the woman who is just a little on the cheap, pretty side, batting those Lucille Baal eyes and forcing her.
Oh, Baal the demon, Baal. This might have worked better as a tweet.
Way in front of you for the cameras. That's all.
I hope so.
Okay.
I mean, it was like they took the DNA of Hillary Clinton and mixed it with Hitler.
It is. So the grooming, Erica, the grooming.
Yeah, I don't know how you honeypot with either one of those people.
Erica didn't just stumble into the movement. She was likely directed by Lori,
How likely is that? Why?
Mother, using her mother's defense and intelligence connections to target Charlie Kirk.
Who are you reading this from? Some fucking dude on Twitter? Why am I supposed to accept this as fact?
Remember, Erica changed her entire image, pretending to be exactly the kind of traditional Christian woman she knew Charlie's faith and values would attract, just to lure him in.
But he was sort of a new convert as well. He was kind of shrugging off religion like J.D. Vance, and then he was like, oh, this is the real deal. And then he decided to go all in. So, of course, you're not going to find people that age who are like on the fence about religion and then decide to jump all in.
Before that, she was a beauty queen. She was entering beauty contests.
Yeah, like every other woman in Trump's cabinet, you mean?
Selling weapons to people. I don't understand how this is darker than her mom worked at Raytheon, which is what I already thought, which is even a private military connections. Like
that's how she got the job after she left the NSA. Probably working, because they hire her on. Can you keep a secret? Yeah, so can I.
That is even grosser than NSA. I mean, I don't want to say this isn't gross, but we already knew this.
She was in movies, documentaries for the CIA.
Yeah,
as a speaker, she wasn't like in the background.
Right, as a spokesperson. Right. That's why it's a little weird that you would think there was some hidden scheme. One would think if you have this masterful thing to clone a woman and create a copy of her, oh, maybe wait. Sorry, maybe that was her clone that was in the video. And this one doesn't even remember having done that video at all.
So keep going. Remember Erica Chainsaw? Yeah. If Erica is being directed by an NSA linked mother,
and that's a big if, yeah.
Then the widow we see today isn't a leader. She's an operator holding the line for her mother's interests.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, wait, Jimmy, do you think it may be possible that she's not a true leader?
Well, I'll tell this. She obviously lets her mother do her make.
Fuck, man. Now they're throwing that like another written joke. So this is basically how the show works now. He's turned into like Benny Johnson. Instead of just reading shitter tabs, he reads one of Kurt's jokes and they both laugh at it as if it's funny. Is that the gig?
Up. Like she's going to prom. I mean, that is if she was graduating from stripper school, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
Mother, do your makeup now.
Such a stage mom, always fussing with her daughter's hair and coaching her on every move.
You look like a fat whore. Let me do your makeup.
I think
this is just odd. This is just really odd. I'm not even quite sure what they're trying, other than criticize, they're trying to get some of that sweet Candace Owens traffic.
Charlie got married too soon. He should have went and met her parents first for Thanksgiving, you know? Might have gotten a little suspicious when both of...
He's reading another joke off the page. It's good. It's good stuff. I would have written this down before setting fire to it. Her parents
were wearing dark sunglasses at the dinner table so they don't give any of her clumsy emotions away, like a poker game, right?
Is that what they do?
Honest to God, what is this shit? Well, so this is almost so bad that you forget he's dunking on a widow. Whether, again, you can have your thoughts about whether or not she's honest or not or any of that. That's immaterial. And the reality is a woman who lost her husband, took over his conservative organization and is, and is a little too easy to move it behind her, maybe in some ways, or carry on his legacy, depending on which way you believe it. It's immaterial. The point is, what we do know as fact is he's dead. She has kids with him, and there's going to be a trial of the person that actually shot him. Whether that person is guilty or innocent will be worked out in court. That's the baseline of what we actually know. But these guys are so comfortable with whatever fucking dusty bullshit that's been thrown up on the internet that they're willing to like tap dance on a widow's head. Again, you don't have to believe she's real in this for this to be true, because it's only, we're going with what you really know versus what you think you might know and all that kind of stuff. They're just happy about calling her a whore and all that kind of stuff, period. End of story. And the other thing is, if her mom's manipulating her and forcing her into this situation, you think she's like if she was raised in a household like that, wasn't she just a wind-up toy for whoever the fucking controllers were in the first place? Isn't she in an unenviable position because she was raised in it? She didn't have a choice. So even if she participated, it's been going on since she was a kid. So what the fuck does she know? Maybe she's afraid they'll kill her if she doesn't do what she's told. Like that kind of stuff. If you believe this conspiracy and that her mom's involved in it and running her from the sidelines and forcing her to do this, then she's as innocent as Charlie. But no, just keep making fun of his mom with fucking kids or whatever, just because you're so sure of this.
I don't have that deep of connections.
I'm just guessing, Kurt. I'm guessing. So let's keep it. Why this changes everything. The link to the NSA PRISM database and Snowden documents proves that the Lori's tech background was just a cover for something much deeper. When a former so Lori, her mother, when a former CIA analyst says Erica Kirk's behavior is not effing normal, and then we find her mother is in a leaked NSA docs, the coincidence officially dies.
Sorry, the former CIA guy says that she's not being normal, and her mom used to work for the NSA and apparently set this all up. And whoever that is, who is it? The dude with who just cut his hair, the long hair guy, or the other, like the two CIA doofs that are on all these programs right now. Again, if there's once a spook, always a spook, then why are you trusting anything that they're saying? But I don't care because I like everything they say sounds like something you could have read off the third page of Bloomberg. So super weird that they become these like anchors for all these shows. But if one person that used to work in that is like, she's acting super fucking weird, it's not fucking normal. What's normal for grief in that situation? What is normal?
They are running a script, and the script was written by people with badges and high-level security clearances.
So she's not free to be herself anyways.
Is Erica a grieving widow, or is she the second generation of an intelligence dynasty? The docs doesn't lie.
Obviously she is.
How obvious? Why would that be the case? And again, if she's second generation, you could say the first generation is something like that as a willing participant. But if the children were raised in it, what choice do they fucking have? She would be almost worthy of pity in that circumstance, right? Do you think you can escape if that's the kind of family your parents are going to set up? Jesus Christ, like being born into the fucking FLDS or some shit, or Waco.
I have a funny feeling, Kurt, she's probably grieving a lot.
So this is the show now. This is Jimmy's show. Read someone else's tweets as fact. Draw their conclusion as your own. Say something misogynistic, gross, or dismissive, and then read a shitty Kurt joke from a piece of paper like it's the first time you've tried reading after waking up from a fucking coma.
More right about now.
I mean, I ain't seen her.
Sorry, what was that joke supposed to be?
Doesn't lie.
Obviously she is.
I have a funny feeling, Kurt, she's probably grieving a lot more right about now.
I mean, I ain't seen her with them
He doesn't even know what that means.
kids. I ain't seen her around those kids since. Do they have kids? Was that fake?
Why
or
was
was it like that Dream movie with DiCaprio?
Right?
You only see the back of the kids' heads, you know?
Why Lauren versus Lori? So that she had multiple identities. But
No, she didn't. Her full name is Lauren. She goes by Lori. Why is that weird? She didn't change her name entirely. Why Lauren instead of Lori? Because Lori's easier to say, and people call you Lauren, and that's not how it's supposed to be. It's Lorin, and you're like, fuck it, just call me Lori. That's why.
Erica's mother. Multiple identities confirmed in public records. Lori A. Franzvi, Lori W. Franzvi, Lori A. Srantvy, Lori A. Walstead, Lori Ann Guntina, Lori Ann Franz.
Maybe because they're different people.
Zoo, Lori A. Franzi, Lori W. Franzi, Lori.
You already did that one.
Franzu.
Yeah, literally. Look at the top. It says, look right here. It says Laurier Franzi, and then down it says Laurier Franzi and Lori W. Franzi. You're like doubling up to 11 of the same.
Up to 11.
Sorry, is it the Franz V versus Z? Whatever. Okay, so some people are writing her name down phonetically, and other times she's writing it herself.
Variations. Her companies, AZ Tech International, IMET Laboratories, both from Scottsdale's addresses, listed in federal.
Yeah, they live there. Charlie Kirk's Erica Kirk was Miss Arizona.
Vendor procurement docs along NSA linked suppliers.
Does anybody understand why he's like so all in on whatever the fuck he's reading from this dude on Twitter? Why he's like, aha, this is Greg Kelly like territory.
At labs tied to risk analysis tech, patents, and government contracts. So she was getting money directly, her mother getting directly money from the military industrial complex.
Well, the assumption is that you think it's from the military side of things when intelligence isn't necessarily under that same envelope. But
that's where she was getting her money.
Well, yeah. What'd she make? You did the work. I didn't. What does IMET Laboratories and AZ Tech International do? What are their government analysis tech, patents, government contracts? What do they make? You're just telling me that this woman is working for the military industrial complex and is creating a honeypot out of her own fucking daughter so that she can get close to a dude so she can murder him later. I'm just asking for a couple of details.
And from the government intelligence agencies, Cryptone, online intel leak library, and JAR2 NSA email list host these files, placing Lori in the same ecosystem.
Oh my God. The fucking janitors at the Pentagon are in the same ecosystem.
As proven spies, leaked federal vendor lists highlight IMET Labs with contact Lori Franzi.
Yeah, she used to work in the government. She got out and now she works with the government. My dad worked for Federated Department Stores. And then after he retired, he worked as a collaborator on projects with his own architectural firm with Federated Department Stores. They got contracts to do stuff that Federated didn't want to do itself. Weird.
So this chick grieved harder that people don't believe that Furry killed her husband than she did at the actual of the murder. She was excited after. I feel really excited about what's next.
So there you have it. And
No, I don't have it. I do not. No. Next thing you're going to tell me is that Charlie Kirk was walking around in the fucking White House and trading phone calls with the sitting president of the United States all the time. You want to talk about a connection? Charlie had way more connections than she did. And secondarily, like when they met, he already had Trump's fucking phone number. He was already connected to conservative politics.
So that's according to Project Constitution.
No, it isn't. It's according to a Twitter handle called Project Constitution. Sorry, Project Constitu.
There you have it.
No, you don't.
Sure, her parents are connected to
Oh, fuck. Now he's going to read another joke. I'm sorry. My mistake. You calling it a joke.
every dark corner of governmental agency. But who cares when she comes out there and puts that ass in governmental asset? Am I right? Come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow. Now I'm reminded why we've stopped doing as many clips from that, because god damn, that's painful. And I also I'm curious. Do you have to attack Erica Kirk to attack the military industrial complex? Do you have to attack Erica Kirk's mother to go after programs that the CIA and the NSA have done that are unethical, immoral, or illegal? Do you have to do any of that? Does it make your criticisms of bad things that those agencies might have done any more sound? And also, how again, he's just piggybacking on off of Candace Owens, but it really just sounds like an opportunity to get your misogyny on, without people coming for you. Because I'm not making fun of all women. I'm just using all women kind of derogatory phrases just to get just to deal with her, because she's special. She's different. Okay, one more thing, just making sure. Yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. I went over time. So thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow. Again, tomorrow afternoon show might be a little late. It might be fine, but it might be a little late because Summer's got her doctor's appointment in the morning, and so that kind of thing. So much love to you guys, and thank you for your patience during this time as the schedule gets a little bumpy occasionally. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a Good Friday Eye this week, too. I'm very excited about it. I'm just saying. I think it really is. Yeah. So I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Hype train.
Emptiness, suffocation. Another promise fading fast. Your eyes tell stories of darkness, secrets that my shadows cast. Alice in my veins, a burning ache. Alice in my veins, a touch of dread. Alice in my blood.
Everybody tell Boston Brian we love him.
the window pane. Overslept and lost again.